Welcome back to For the Truth podcast. I'm your host, Josh Keene. This is Ryan Swedberg. Couldn't think of anything quick enough.
That's all right.
Didn't lock it in before. This is For the Truth Ministries. We exist for the salvation of the saints, sanctification of the lost.
No.
Got him.
Yeah.
Just
That
kidding.
was just a test, right?
That was a test.
Yep.
Catch you on your toes. The salvation of the lost and sanctification of the saints would be more apropos and correcto. But yeah, we're off of Easter. Last episode we did was a kind of a runway for Easter, preparation for Easter. How was your Easter?
Easter was great, man. Before I go into that, we're recording, correct? On the audio, on the computer?
We are recording on the computer.
Okay, because I have not seen the computer, so I would hate to spend
we've never ever done that before.
Never. At least not for 3 or 4 months. Easter was great, though. We had a great time. Wasn't sure this year with my wife, due any day now, if we were actually going to have Easter in the hospital or Easter at home, and we're had it at home, and we're still not in the hospital. But we had some folks over for dinner, about 20 people in total, including our family, just folks who don't have family around or family was gone for Easter or whatever that we were able to spend the day with. So really fun evening with them. I went on a run in the afternoon as I was continuing my Indy mini marathon training. So did some running in the afternoon, dinner at evening, and then obviously in the morning, most importantly, was at church worshiping with the Lord's people, Resurrection Sunday. Ellie did a nice job singing in the choir, so she had a really busy Sunday. Was there early, there late.
Yep.
I brought the kids a little bit later and wasn't there the whole morning, but was there for part of the morning. So it was a really sweet time. How about yours?
Yeah, Ellie was the only one up there with 4 feet in front of her.
Yes, right, yeah. Belly sticking out.
Yeah, I was like, when she walked off the stage, it was like you and my wife both, when they're at the very end of pregnancy, they pop a lot.
Yes. And she's gotten a lot of comments the last week or two.
It's like wow, baby's ready. Ready to come out. I remember with Tiffany, like the last week it went from like, yeah, you're pregnant to like, holy cow, like how are you even functioning with that much baby?
The pregnancy waddle.
The pregnancy waddle. Yeah. Yeah, Easter was good. Same thing. Friday night was at church. Saturday night working at the house, but Sunday night or Sunday morning, got to worship the Lord and do all of that stuff with the kids that we did afterwards, the baskets and reading and everything. But it was a good time. I will say, this is something maybe we can talk about for a second, is how do you prepare for a Sunday morning, or how do you make sure that you're ready for a Sunday morning with having 3 little kids? Because like for us, sometimes I play drums, which that doesn't always necessarily count, but that's a different thing when you're getting ready to like, worship on a Sunday or listen to preaching on a Sunday and you're playing drums and you're rehearsing and doing it 3 times, whatever. But when you're with the kids and you're rushing to get to church and the kids are disobeying, and then you're trying to throw them in the car, comb this person's hair, throw these clothes on, and all this. You're like sprinting to get out the door, and then you show up. One of the kids doesn't want to go in childcare, or they're not, whatever, and you're throwing them in, and you sprint to service, and you sit down. It's just a mad dash rush. I just don't always feel like I'm ready to just like sit down and listen to a sermon,
right, and
actively take it away. So Easter Sunday for me was a little bit of that. Like it was a little bit of a rush to get to church. Was tired, was a little bit distracted. Sometimes I'll go back and just listen to it again, just to when I've got not that going on. But how do you guys? Do you feel like that's a thing for you guys? Or?
Not. It can be not generally, and a couple things. For one, I should give, I guess, credit where credit's due. My wife's a rock star. I don't really think about the kids a whole lot Sunday morning. Yeah. I think that's even just in part of like, on Sunday, what am I thinking about? Well, I'm thinking about what's going on at the church. What am I teaching through that day if I'm teaching a class? And so I'll do little things with the kids, and, I'll go maybe get Teddy dressed or whatever. But the lion's share of what happens, Ellie makes happen. And I'm pretty much, I get up, I shower, I get dressed, I get ready to go, and then everybody else is ready. So that's just a credit and testimony to Ellie and her kind of just taking charge of the kids on Sunday morning. So I don't really have to think about it a whole lot. The second thing, though, I think is helpful for us that is far more. I don't want to sound like I'm diminishing my wife's help, but in a lot of ways, even far more helpful than that. Because there are days maybe Ellie's sick or whatever, or she, like what happened last Sunday. You know, she left early for choir. I was the one getting the kids ready. So right, that's not a universalism that she's the one doing that. But we just set our leave time very early.
Yeah.
So if the first service starts at 8, we typically, and we live 15 minutes from the church, we plan to get out of the door at 7:20. And so if that means things are running late and somebody's disobeying, or, you know, a kid wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and it's just a hard time getting going. All right, we leave at 7:29. So we show up at 7:45.
Yeah.
Right. No big deal.
Yeah.
So just building in that wiggle room and saying, hey, we want to leave at 7:20 and actually shooting for it, not saying 7:20, but it always just being 7:40. That's the hard part. So for us, it's not really been an issue because we just, it's my job, right? So there's even that extra level of like, we need to be there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm doing announcements or have a responsibility of that first service. And then we just set our leave time really early, 7:20. And so when it's 7:24, 7:27, 7:22, it's like water off the back. Doesn't matter.
Yep. I feel like we were getting in a good rhythm for a little bit, getting there early before Tiffany's pregnancy got further and further along. You know, it's difficult. I mean, Ellie's pregnant too, but just the exhaustion from the kids and but it's definitely a battle. I know, you know, I would prefer to be able to wake up. Probably what I used to do is read what we were going to teach on, what they were going to teach on that morning before church, and be prepared mentally to go in and to listen and to learn from whoever's preaching. And hopefully pretty soon, like what Kirk did with the boys, taking them to Panera for years.
Yep.
I'd like to start doing that with Jed, taking him Sunday morning and just going and talking and reading before, and then eventually take the girls with me too. That'd be a really sweet time.
Yeah, I've thought about doing something like that and cycling it through. So like we're gonna have 4 kids, so one Sunday a month.
Yep.
You
with
have
each kid
with
individually.
each kid individually.
Yeah, I like that too. Big update for you guys. Ellie's pregnant.
Yes. Surprise. Yeah. So any day now, Monday's her due date, which I guess is going to be released on Monday.
Yeah.
So today is her due date. So we might actually have a baby now at the time you're listening to this.
Now.
Boom.
That'd be cool if I just waited to release it and timed it up perfectly.
Yep. So we are excited for that. Don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl. It'll be one of the two. Those are the two options.
We're having a girl, so
we're probably having
a girl. Although Tiffany is very, 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 very convinced you're having a boy.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
Okay, I'm not going to ruin it.
Well, why? Say why.
Well, Ellie knows, so I figure you would know. But Ellie said that the tech slipped up and said,
I didn't know that was Tiffany's reason. Yes, the ultrasound tech.
But she's like, that doesn't happen unless if it's blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, we'll see.
That's what I think too. We have had a boy name for several months. We finally, I think, last night settled on a girl name. If
Little
it's
Josh.
a girl, Little Josh, Joshina,
Joshina,
Joshalette.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited and can't wait for baby to be here. But it's going to be a crazy time. 4 kids under 5, 4.5, 3.5, 1.5, and a newborn.
Yep.
So it's survive to thrive.
Yep. We shall join you in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as you think about, just, I guess, building off that Easter question, as you think, which by the way, this is just more of a random hodgepodge, which we were going to talk about the Masters too for a couple minutes. So we'll have to
circle back
to that. But as you think about parenting, serving your wife, loving your kids well with a newborn in the house, I mean, we've done this a few times now.
Yeah.
What comes to mind as ways that we can do that? If there's other guys listening to this who have young kids, have a kid on the way, what are some ways that we can do that well and not be the selfish guy, but the guy who loves his wife, loves his kids well?
Yeah. I mean, I think for our stage, having 3 kids, like you said, like 4 and under or whatever right now, and then adding the 4th, really the name of the game is how long can I distract the upper 3 from mom, and how long can I keep her at bay from their craziness while she recovers? You know, with Jed, it was how little sleep can I get so you can get the most sleep. Like I would stay up as late as I could holding him so he wouldn't cry so she could sleep. With Julia, it was more of like Jed's little. With Julia, I took off, I think, a day of work or something like that. So I didn't have a whole lot of time off from work because I had just quit my job at that point. So Tiffany took the brunt of Julia the most, and they're 15 months apart. Josie, I took about 10 minutes off. Like I was doing work in the hospital, but then I did not work. I worked from home for a week. So I got to hang out with Jed and Julia, and that was good for Tiffany just to be able to, pass off the baton of getting lunch ready and getting, that kind of stuff ready for the kids. But this time in all reality, I feel like it's pretty true where you have a fourth and then they kind of just like get tossed into what you're doing already, that you don't really think about it that much. It's, we're going to go to church and we're just going to carry the car seat. We already carry the diaper bag. We already carry number 3. We already have to with your first one, it's so like, oh, we're going to go to church today. It's like, okay. Like, you just do your life. And now with the fourth, it's like, we're just going to do everything we normally do. Is it going to be more difficult? Yes. Is it going to be more tiring? Yes. But Josie has been our third. She's still teething. Well, I think at this point she's mostly done. But for the past like 3 months, it feels like she's been popping molars out and teething all over the place. And we've not been sleeping that great anyways, along with sickness at the end of winter. And so we're already in that boat. You're already not sleeping. That's amazing. Add in the newborn. Honestly, for Tiffany, I think the 2 months after having the baby, it's like you're not pregnant. It's like, yes, you're recovering, but you should be theoretically be getting better and better every day versus kind of getting worse every day as you move towards into pregnancy. Yep. So I'm just excited for her to be able to start feeling better, start having more energy. She has certain like supplements that she takes, like her iron is low. So like those things actually starting to help her more versus the baby depleting her resources every single day. Yep. Outside of feeding the baby. But yeah, I mean, for us, it's just really what can I do that will distract for Tiffany. My goal is to take 4 weeks off this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My goal, it's in the calendar for work to take 4 weeks off when the baby comes. So I'll have a full month of golf after the baby. Yeah.
And when you say that as a business owner, that doesn't mean never check your email for 4 months. That means you're not here. You're maybe doing an hour at home, answering emergency calls, steering the ship from afar.
Yeah, I'll probably have a daily check-in with the people who are running the show while I'm gone for an hour every day. Yep. I told them just have a list for me ready so I can just answer as many things as possible right away. And I just don't want to get called throughout the day.
Right.
So if I can just answer questions at the beginning but yeah, I mean, I'll be working the whole time, but I just won't be at the office. That's just part of it. But I mean, serving the wife is just letting her sleep truthfully as much as she possibly can, letting her body recover. But we live on property that we bought in the fall. Obviously you live on property too, but like, we're just excited to enjoy summer, you know? And if I have a month off, like she will be recovering, but also she'll be recovering outside in the sun. Like the last babies we had, 2 were in October and 1 was in January. January, you're not sitting outside. Like it's disgusting outside. Fall in October, we were able to do walks and stuff, but she'll be able to just go outside and sit in a chair and be in the sun and watch the kids ride their bikes. Like that's all she wants to do. Yep. So
no, that's great.
It should be pretty easy. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think for us, as I'm thinking through it too, I think that last point, the most helpful thing you can do is try and get the other 3 kids out of your wife's hair. Let her rest. Obviously, the newborn has to stay with mom. Yeah. She's got to eat every couple hours, sleeping all the time. So that's also helpful. Yeah. But I'm trying to think through what are some things that I can take Teddy, Lola, and Gracie to, load them up in the van, and we get out of the hair for a couple hours so that they can be an uninterrupted nap time for Ellie. Oh. I won't be taking as much time as you off, but I'll be taking a little bit of time off. Where the thing for me though, I'll have to check email, but it will be even less. It'll be less time off, but probably more off feeling than your time off. And that I'll stay up to date on emails each day with the construction project and some things going on that I just need to be in the loop on. But other than that, my goal is to think through, okay, what's something each day or most of those days that I'm off where. And depending on, we might have family around too, so it might look a little different depending on when exactly this baby arrives. But what are some things I can do to just get some peace in the house for Ellie so she can rest, take care of baby? And then the thing that's helpful for my wife, and woman I know is wired differently on this, is also helping my wife get back into the swing of things quickly, as much as she can. As we evaluate our 3 kids, the mistake we made with one of them, with Lola, was in part just because Lola was so small. There was a little bit of skittishness, like, is she gonna get sick? We don't want her to get sick. But we stayed in longer than we should have. And I think if you'd asked my wife, the best recipe for success for her, just for her recovery, even from just an emotional, hormonal standpoint, is to just get back with people. And so if we're back from the hospital on a Saturday morning, we'll be in church on Sunday, absent something, crazy happening. So I think a lot of moms, a lot of parents, they want to, and again, everybody recovers differently. If you need to get rest, but don't do it just from a sake of fear or like, I just shouldn't come back to it. I mean, we with Teddy, our firstborn, we came back from the hospital on a Wednesday morning and that night we stopped by youth group to show off Teddy to the youth group, and we didn't stay the whole night, but we got to see people. And I think for my wife, and again, everybody's wired differently, but just, she's a people person. She wants to be around people. Just lying at home in bed, putzing around the house for a couple weeks after baby is not a way for her to recover well. And so even helping my wife figure out what can she do to get out, to see people, to restore a sense of normalcy is huge for her.
There's something else I was gonna say while you're saying that, but I had ordered Teddy a
excuse me,
birthday present. I forget when is his birthday?
November.
Yeah, it's an early birthday present.
Okay,
it's a drum set. Did you want it delivered this week or next week?
Right, yeah. Well, funny on that. So remember what your brother did?
He bought like the thing that talks, right? Like the pickle or something. Wasn't it?
No, we did have that. That was a gag gift from something else. But Josh's brother, for Teddy's, I think second or third birthday, probably his third birthday, we had a birthday party. Their family got Teddy a taco truck.
Oh, that's what it was.
For his birthday, that played the same annoying song. And it was a song that lasted like 3 minutes long. And once you push the button, it doesn't stop. And then Teddy would just push it again immediately. So yeah, your brother, I think we still owe him a nasty gift surprise.
Well, they're having a baby in August. So you can do it then.
Yep.
But yeah, having kids is obviously a tremendous blessing from the Lord, but it's a lot of work. I think our older 2 are getting to the point though where, like, Jed was feeding Josie the other day. And it's like, wow, that's actually super helpful. And Josie thought it was great. Like, she loved having the old big brother feed her. So getting into those things where, and last night, Jed's starting to take showers now because we're separating him from the girls.
Yeah, right.
Or have separated for the most part him from the girls.
Right.
And
wait, what do you mean? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I get it.
But like
same way.
He's taking a shower, and usually like he'll get out of the bath or the shower and I'll dry him off, and I just like held the towels like, all right, dry off. And he's like looked at me like, what? I was like, what do you think I do? Like, just dry it off. Touch every part of your body with a towel. Yeah. Just like starting to, I hate it because I don't want to push him to be older. Like, to me, Jed is literally in the perfect age right now. Like, I love the age he's in. Everything is still like super like fun. Like, you give him a cup and he's like, oh my gosh, a cup. Like everything is just exciting and fun and new, but he's also, athletic enough to do some, like, he can hit a baseball, he can hit a golf. It's not like he's hitting it 300 yards, but he can do those things. He can shoot a basketball. He can, run around and play. So I don't want him to get older, but it's also like, well, you kind of got to step up here because you've got, younger siblings following right behind. But
Ellie and I have joked about that too at times with Teddy getting older. Like, in our house, obviously this would be at home, not like just out in public or whatever, but Ellie's got to run back and go change Lola. Hey, Teddy, can you keep an eye on Gracie in the upper room? Make sure she's playing nicely. It's like, oh wait, he's our 4.5-year-old son. Like, and again, it's obviously at home, and it gives him the purpose of that too is a little sense of responsibility. Like, hey, you're an older brother, you're a protector, and watch your sister. And what's the worst thing that can happen is we step out for a minute, she falls down the stairs and it's a little bonk on her head, right? So
a little bonk.
And when I say stairs, it's like 3 steps.
She falls down 17 flights of stairs and she's fine.
So it just teaches him some responsibility, and
he's
good.
more than capable of stopping her from going down stairs. We've done the same thing with Jed. But the funny thing is if I tell him, oh yeah, keep your eye on Josie, and then I turn around back and he's like, got Josie like locked down on the floor. She's not going anywhere, Dad. I'm like, that's not what I meant at all. Like, we did not mean to just just lock her down. It's like she was going toward like the stairs. I was like, you can let her go to the stairs. She is fully capable of going on the stairs. But yeah, kids are a blessing. Kids are super fun, lots of work. But praying for your wife. Hopefully, it's an easy delivery, easy recovery. I hope it's terrible for you, but for your wife, I hope it's great.
As long as it's not right during this final round of the Masters on Sunday afternoon, which will be yesterday. So we'll have, when this comes out, we'll have known who's won. But
Bryson also did not look good yesterday.
He did not look good.
3 over, but also Fred Couples, 2 under on the front 9.
What did he shoot on the back?
He had 3 doubles in a row, 16 or 15, 16, 17.
Oh, wow. Okay.
3 doubles in a row. So he's at, what is that?
4 over.
4 over. But there's still people who did worse than him. Like there's somebody else that's
John Rahm shot 78.
Yeah, 6 over.
Yeah. So I guess speaking of that, I know the purpose of For the Truth Ministries is not to talk golf, but you did just get to go to Augusta National this week. So maybe if you want to give people a window into just a highlight or two from that time down there.
Yeah, I mean Augusta is, for everyone who's watched it on TV or aspires to go, it's amazing. It is everything it would expect it to be. The TV, everybody says it, but the TV does not do it justice at all. It is extremely like up and down, hilly valleys. One of the things that surprised me, which makes sense, but the greens are tiny. Like the greens are not big. They are extremely small, and every part of it is sloping. Like there's only a handful of spots that are flat, which is basically where they put the pins on different days. But if you are not within 2 feet of your landing zone, you could be falling off the green in any direction. Like it is not a forgiving course. And the bunkers, like number 1, the bunker, if you're at the bottom of the bunker, it's a 7-foot tall bunker. Like you are, we would not get, or maybe you would, I don't know, but like most golfers would not get out of that bunker. I would hit it backwards to go onto the green before I'd hit it over the bunker probably. But yeah, just walking the course, it was beautiful. Blake, our executive pastor, texted me and asked how it was, and I said, God must have missed it when he picked the promised land. He didn't see Augusta, Georgia, but it's amazing. It's beautiful. The golf is. We got to watch a lot of golfers hit balls, and the pimento cheese not super down on.
That's okay.
It was like fine, but it's not like I'm not a big cheese guy.
Yeah.
The egg salad, like it's nothing to write home about.
Did you have the peach ice cream?
The peach ice cream sandwich cookies were incredible. I almost cried.
I don't think I had that when I went last
year.
I think I missed out on that part.
That was the best thing they had there. Okay. I mean, they were so good. The golf course is obviously incredible. We walked the whole thing. Got to sit in some different spots. We only got like an hour of sleep the night before because we were 2.5 hours away. So we got up super early and we had gotten in kind of late the night before.
Like literally only an hour?
Literally 1 hour of sleep.
Oh my goodness.
Before we went to the course, but it didn't matter. Get some coffee and
adrenaline.
The adrenaline and the fun of it. I got Bryson's autograph, which I'm not a big like autograph guy, but it's cool. I'm not going to like chase down people to get signatures and stuff, but he was there and it was pretty easy. We got to see him. I'm taller than him, which like,
no way.
Yeah. He's only like 5'10".
Really? I didn't know that. I pictured him like 6'3".
No. He's honestly not that big of a guy.
Okay.
Like even everybody says he's super jacked. Like he's strong.
He's lost some weight too. Yeah.
But he's not like, let me just double check his Dyson DeChambeau's actual Google height.
What does the great Google say?
Google says 6'1". I don't believe that.
Okay.
Unless, there's a chance that it was like a slope.
Because I've seen him in person play. I've had him pegged over 6 feet before.
Yeah. I was literally closer than me and you are to him, and I was like eye to eye at the worst.
Okay.
Which is just like the TV. Every time, like you watch people on TV and you just think they're bigger than life. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like they just look taller. They feel bigger. Brooks Koepka's super skinny now. But he's tall.
Okay.
He's probably 6'3", but
he's like 5'8". I'm just kidding.
What is going on? But no, it was super fun. Got to see Scotty just praying while he walked. No, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun with the guys and just getting some time away to not work. But
sweet.
None of it mattered. I made this comment in jest a little bit to the guys while we were walking away. but it's very true, and it's not meant to be cheesy. But we were walking away from Augusta just talking about how good of a day it was, how fun it was, and I was like, well, none of that matters because we have Christ. Like
Yeah.
all of that is great. It's all super fun. The course
It's
is
a blessing.
beautiful. It's a
Take it as a blessing
blessing
from the Lord. Yep.
the Lord gives us things to enjoy, but at the end of the day, like none of it matters. We have the Lord, and that is infinitely better than anything like
Sure.
that will ever be.
Absolutely.
Except for the fact that we'll probably play Augusta in heaven,
I
my
hope so.
guess,
I hope so.
or heaven's Augusta.
Okay, now we've entered
Now
into
we're,
the
now we're
realm
getting a
of
little heretical.
yeah.
But no, it was great. It was a good time. The Lord's creation is beautiful, which is was a big takeaway.
You led into my next question. What's something theological we can take away from
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
the beauty of God's creation.
as not to sound cheesy, but like in the craziness of life and how busy we are, like just we don't have your phones at Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking time to put away your stuff and just sit in God's creation is beautiful. Like
Yeah.
that's why camping is so much fun. You know, going out in the sitting by a lake and just listening to the birds chirp, or you know, for me that's very refreshing. I didn't want to come back to work. You know, I was like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I could do this all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, just having focused time or time to even just think and meditate on what your purpose is, like with the Lord, like what you're trying to do, what are the important things, spending time reading. Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But-
Great. That's awesome. I just to build off that, when I went last year, as I think about Augusta, something that was also helpful for me to think through, and this taking it from the other side, like I agree with everything you said, but also so many people, it is an idol, right?
Yeah.
It's almost,
Yeah.
I even was reading an article, I forget what news or noteworthy news organization wrote it, but basically how Augusta has some cult-like elements. And that's true too, in terms of just the way they carefully manicure everything and make sure you only see certain things. One of their founders killed himself on the course, right? There was a sacrifice. Clifford Roberts back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Like literally committed suicide on the course.
Didn't know that.
So there's alongside of this just beauty of creation and amazing what God has done there and what people have done in planting certain plants and whatnot. There's also that dark undercurrent that on the surface maybe isn't apparent, but also is there too, where you've got some of the richest, most powerful people in the world in charge, running the place.
Yeah.
Very racist organization up until just a few decades ago too, with the way they treated blacks. Like blacks couldn't golf; they could only be caddies. That was for the longest time. That was the policy there. What way later than like they made their Augusta's civil rights movement was several decades after America's, right?
Wow.
And so there is some evil right there, but that doesn't detract away from the beauty of God's creation and holding both in tension. And that's something that as I was walking around there last year, it's like, wow, they have a really tight grip on making sure everything, almost the deception appearance. Yes, it's beautiful, but also it seeks to cover up, and I'm getting probably too far in the weeds on this, but they seek to cover up any sort of imperfection, any sort of flaw, effectively masking the effects of the fall.
Yeah.
And again, I'm probably making this deeper than it needs to be, but that was something that I thought about last year. Is like, you know, rather than, because if we think Augusta is beautiful, here's my point. If we think Augusta is beautiful, wait until the kingdom. Wait until the Lord comes back and the beauty and the glory and the grandeur of that, where it's all real. It's not fake. It's not green dirt being covered up, covering up divots. It's not blue dye being put in the waters to make them appear more beautiful than they are. It's not bird sounds being piped into the trees to make it sound like there's more birds than they are.
About that.
Right. So it's all sorts of.
I don't think that's fake.
That's confirmed. Confirmed.
Confirmed by you last year on the course.
No, confirmed by other trusted people who are in the golf space that would know. So I'm 99% sure that they do that. That they have some speakers with some additional sounds going on. Could be wrong. That's why it's 9, not 100.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I think it's beautiful. Everything you say, I agree with completely. And also the side as we think about the fall and the future beauty of the new creation. Augusta, as beautiful as it is not paradise restored. And that's something we wait for in the future. But
Yeah. I mean, even when you're there and you're walking around, like people are drinking a lot. People are cursing, being who they are. And it's like, you're looking at this beautiful creation and I'm having a good day doing that.
And worshiping the Lord for it
simultaneously. Simultaneously, there's a guy right next to me who's doing the exact opposite. And it's just, it goes to show that this is not at all this is not at all what we're seeking.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, as we look to the future, what's coming up next for the truth? As we've got a couple minutes before.
Yeah, I think
wrap this up.
I think we're going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus, of a pause from For the Truth podcast for a little bit. Obviously, Ryan's having his baby literally any day.
Mm-hmm.
And then by time we circle back up after some time off, we'll be pushing up against the door of having our baby, along with schedules for church and work and all the things. So we'll probably take a couple months off, just to give some space for the families through the summer, reevaluate, what our goals are for the podcast and how we can make it better for you guys, or if it's something that has run its course, who knows, but take some time off, spend it with the families, spend it with the Lord, kind of just simplifying everything around us.
Right. Because as we've talked, obviously, and you've heard this heartbeat on our podcast, wanting to really prioritize family well. And, we've even thought through various dates to record this in the morning. It's taking us away from our families for one morning or the other. And it seems like whatever schedule syncing up, we're always on different schedules in a way. So it allows us some time to spend with family to pray about this, reevaluate things. And, it's in some ways it's up to you, the listener. So if you want more, clamor for more.
Yeah.
Make this be noisy over the summer that you missed the podcast. And, we're looking forward to seeing what the Lord does. And obviously everything's going to stay up over this hiatus on the website, and that people could even hopefully be blessed and benefited by what's already been posted. But as far as new content, that's going to take a pause here for a little bit.
Yep. So we'll sign off there. We'll catch you guys hopefully in a couple months. And yeah, have fun with the baby.
Boom.
There you go. See you later.